Thanks for your time tonight.
Very good to be with you, Brian. Good evening.
Australia has a federal election in 100 days.
Is it 100 days, is it? Yes, it would be about that,
You've been involved in a few of these, haven't you?
Yeah, first elected in 98, Brian, so yes, been in a few.
Have you ever seen Australian politics in worse shape than it is at the moment?
Well, it works in phases, Brian,
So this is a particularly depressing phase, isn't it?
Well,
when the public don't have any faith in any of the politicians.
Well, Brian, that's partly to do with the way you people in the media portray politics. That's where people get their idea of politics
Yeah,
from.
but that's part of the deal, isn't it? We give you the audience you need, and you allow us in the media to say what we like.
Maybe it's that deal, Brian, that people find a bit depressing.
Well, what are you saying, that it's not healthy for the public to
No.
lose faith in the
In a democracy, you
system?
want bright young people to
Sure.
be excited and engaged by politics.
to contribute.
You want them
Sure.
to contribute.
What's your role currently?
In the Parliament,
Yeah.
I stand behind people, Brian.
You stand behind people?
I stand behind people, Brian, and I nod.
So,
If someone's making an announcement, I stand behind them, Brian, and I nod quite a
so
lot.
someone's making a policy announcement, you're one of those people behind them.
That's right. Well, I'm nodding, Brian, to indicate the significance and perhaps the wisdom of what's being said
Said by whom?
by whoever's talking.
And you do this in government or in opposition?
Well, I've done it in both, Brian. One of the key things in politics is you've got to be able to adapt
Adapt to what?
to doing the same thing all the time.
Do you actually say anything when you're standing behind them?
No, you don't get any lines, Brian. You're not Hamlet, nor
Yes.
we're meant to be.
You're just there to swell the progress.
That's right. It's not about you.
And you wouldn't want to detract from the main message either.
Of course
would you?
not. No, quite.
Yeah. Tell me, how does it work? Is there a roster system?
There is a roster, Brian, but it's horses for courses. I mean, Scott Morrison, for example,
One of the great nodders.
absolute ornament to the game, but you would not put Scott behind the Agriculture Minister.
No, not his area.
Wrong field. Joe Hockey, keep him away from finance.
But isn't he the shadow treasurer?
He is, Brian, and he's very good working from a script.
But you wouldn't want him ad
You don't want him extemporising, Brian. Wayne Swan, take him out of the roster altogether.
He always looks bored.
He's listening to music, I think, Brian. I don't know what he's doing. Tony Abbott, inclined to nod a bit too seriously. I mean, you'd think that everything was being said was the most serious thing ever announced anywhere in the history of the world.
No contrast.
No light and shade with Tony.
Thanks for joining us tonight.